Hello children, welcome to Vivid Botany. We have statements about the lipids here. We have total been given 5 statements, among which we have to find out the correct options. Correct options are said to be only 2. The remaining 3 options are wrong. So we should here find out what are the wrong statements among the given 5. Let us see the first one. Lipids having only single bonds are called as unsaturated fatty acids. So this question is very popular in chemistry. It is a basic chemistry. It doesn't belong to the botany. I told you earlier also, the carbon which is having 4 single bonds is said to be saturated. The carbon with 4 single bonds is said to be saturated. Do remember. Other than this, if carbon is having double bond or carbon is having triple bond, then these two are said to be unsaturated. So it's applicable to not only lipids but the carbohydrates, or you say the fats, fatty acids, or any organic compound. If it is having double bond or triple bond, it is said to be unsaturated. If it is having all 4 single bonds, is the saturated. The first statement is here wrong because single bonds are not unsaturated. Second, you see lecithin is a phospholipid. You see here that phosphate plus lipid. When phosphate is esterified with lipid, it forms phospholipid. So phospholipids are common ingredients of the cell membrane. If you see cell membrane, we find the lipid molecule with a head and 2 tails. So we know that the heads are towards periphery and the 2 tails are toward the center. So within these phospholipids, protein molecules are embedded. Right? So these protein molecules they act like carrier proteins. They show lateral movement in the ocean of the phospholipids. These proteins are of 2 types, that they are integral and external proteins. So integral proteins act as the carrier proteins. So the lateral movement of proteins is enabled by the phospholipids. These are quasi fluid. Quasi fluid means neither they are completely fluid nor they are completely solid. So this quasi fluid lipids enable the lateral movement of proteins, and it enables the semi-permeable nature, differentially permeable nature of the plasma membrane. It is well explained by fluid mosaic model proposed by Singer and Nicholson. So he described that in the ocean of phospholipids, icebergs like proteins will be floating. So for the floating of the proteins, quasi-fluid phospholipids are very much necessary. So those phospholipids are, best example is here lecithin. Lecithin is the best example for phospholipid. The second statement is very much correct here. Let us see a third one, that is called trihydroxypropane, that is called as glycerol. So glycerol state formula is CH2OH, CHOH and CH2OH. Often we call it as trihydroxypropane also. It is called trihydroxypropane. That is 3 hydroxy groups and propane because the saturated and 3 carbons are there. Right? So for this trihydroxypropane, or we call it as commonly glycerol. To this glycerol, when we add a carboxylic acid, a fatty acid, it becomes here monoglyceride. When you add here, it becomes mono. When you add second one, it becomes di. When you add here, it becomes triglyceride. So glycerol may convert into triglyceride. So the statement C is very much correct. Then palmitic acid has 20 carbons. It's wrong. Palmitic acid has got here 16 carbons. So this is wrong. Arachidonic acid gas got 20 carbons. This is also wrong statement. How can we write it? The molecular formula of palmitic acid. See for example CH3, CH2, COOH. So if it is having 16 carbons, we should put here 14. Now here 16 carbons are present, so it will be palmitic acid. Similarly, you can write it for arachidonic acid also, that is CH3, CH2 of taken 18 times COOH. So this is arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid. So statement D, statement E, both are wrong. I have put up the right one here. You can remember palmitic acid and arachidonic acid. So let us see now here. Statement A is wrong, and then D is wrong, E also wrong. What are correct then? B and C both are correct. So option here 3 is very much correct. Remaining all are wrong. So you can understand how depth the question is being asked. He has chosen 5 statements of only one concept, that is lipids, and he is testing our comprehension, testing our ability of understanding the one and only concept, that is lipids. So I request you to go through the structures, draw the structures, remember the number of carbons, how the bonds are formed, and everywhere he is testing only about the lipids. I think this is third question that is being asked from biomolecules. So you can understand the importance of biomolecules, that they were remembering the structures, molecular formula, what is glycine, alanine, serine, uridine, nucleoside, nucleotide, lecithin phospholipid, glucose, deoxyribose sugar, ribose sugar. All this you have to practice the diagrams along with number of carbons and the number of bonds also. Then only you can do the question very well. So hope my explanation is going well and you will be getting benefited from this explanation, and hope you are doing well, you are practicing well. And let us not forget to subscribe my channel Vivid Botany. Thank you.